She had been driving for hours, the road stretching endlessly ahead, dark and unfamiliar. Rain streaked across the windshield, blurring the yellow lines and her vision along with them. Her phone had lost signal miles ago, and the fuel gauge hovered dangerously close to empty. She told herself to stay calm, but fear crept in with every mile. When the car finally sputtered and rolled to a stop on the side of the road, her heart sank. She tried the ignition again and again, but the engine only answered with silence. She sat there for a moment, gripping the steering wheel, listening to the rain drum against the roof. Cars passed by, headlights flashing briefly before disappearing into the night. None of them slowed down. Each one felt like a quiet rejection, confirming the thought forming in her mind. No one was going to stop. She stepped out of the car, wrapping her jacket tightly around herself. The cold seeped into her bones as she lifted the hood, even though she had no idea what she was looking for. Steam rose faintly, mixing with the rain. She sighed, blinking back tears. She felt small, alone, and foolish for thinking she could make this trip by herself. Minutes passed, then more. Her hope faded with every passing vehicle. That was when she noticed an old pickup truck slowing down behind her. Its headlights dimmed and the engine cut off. Her heart raced, fear mixing with relief. A man stepped out, tall and broad-shouldered, wearing a worn jacket and boots stained with oil and dirt. He looked to be in his mid-30s, his face lined not with anger, but with concern. "You okay?" he asked, keeping a respectful distance. She nodded quickly, then shook her head. "My car just died. I think it's the engine. I tried calling for help, but there's no signal." He glanced at the open hood, then back at her. "Mind if I take a look?" She hesitated for only a second before stepping aside. "Please." He introduced himself as a mechanic from a small town a few miles back. He'd been closing up his garage late when he saw her car stopped on the roadside. Without another word, he leaned over the engine, rain soaking through his jacket as his hands moved with practiced confidence. He listened, checked, adjusted, and worked as if the storm didn't exist. She watched quietly, struck by the calm way he handled everything. There was no rush, no judgment, no impatience, just focus. "Your fuel line's clogged," he said after a moment, "and the battery's weak. Nothing serious. You're lucky it happened here and not farther down." "Lucky doesn't feel like the right word," she said softly. He smiled faintly. "Sometimes it is. We just don't see it right away." He returned to his truck and brought back tools, a flashlight, and a small container of fuel. Working under the dim glow of the light, he cleared the blockage and jump-started the battery. His hands were steady, despite the rain and cold. She found herself breathing easier, just watching him. When he